Amazing, isn't it? These little blocks falling down a little green path on a 1980s Soviet computer. And 35 years later, one of the most influential game brands on the market and in history. Hey everyone, this is Mike Mullis for the original Next Level Gaming. Welcome to Stinger Spotlight, and today we're talking about Tetris. In 1984, when Alexei Pachitnov, a Russian programmer, created Tetris, I don't even think he understood how big the game was actually going to become. And I'm not going to go over the entire history of Tetris, but it is important to understand how influential the product and the brand has become in the last 35 years, and why so many gamers today are still playing it, and why games are still being created under the Tetris brand even today. Tetris holds multiple entries in the Guinness Book of World Records, the most licensed and official variants of the game, the longest running puzzle video game series ever, and the sheer number of game platforms, including mobile, that Tetris has been ported to. You've seen Tetris everywhere, most notably the Game Boy, and Nintendo had this license for a very long time, publishing it only on their platforms. Once Alexei got the license back in 1996, he created the Tetris Company. Then you saw Tetris everywhere. And there have been some great Tetris games recently, including the one we're going to talk about today. The Tetris Effect. It's a term known for people who play Tetris so much and are so obsessed with it that they see it in their sleep. They try to fit their luggage in their car in just that certain way. They walk down a grocery store aisle and rearrange all the boxes. Alright, well maybe that last one's a little far-fetched, but the Tetris Effect is a real thing, even if it's not a medical condition. Developer Enhance, who you might know from Res Infinite and Lumines Remastered, took that and ran with it, and they named their game Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect is a single-player Tetris game that came out originally for the PS4, PS Pro, and PC, and was playable on VR if you had an Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, PSVR, or an Oculus Quest. The game combined beautiful graphics with a really cool soundtrack and interesting play modes. So obviously you could play a standard marathon game, and there were the other fan favorite modes like Sprint and Ultra, but there's a new Journey mode too that's got 30 stages of music and graphics and backgrounds and stuff. It's really, really cool. And there's a brand new zone mechanic too, which you could use to stop time to build up lines and get yourself out of, well, let's say a blocky situation. Now, the one thing that was missing from Tetris Effect was multiplayer and the Xbox consoles. So Enhance came out with a new version of the game that released on the Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Windows 10, and went into GamePass at the end of 2020, and will be out for the PS4, Epic Games Store, and Oculus Quest in summer 2021. That game is Tetris Effect Connected. Co-op and competitive, local and online, you get your multiplayer. Everything from the single-player game is right here, along with the addition of 4 different multiplayer modes. Now, in addition to the classic Tetris that you know all well, there's a new zone battle mode which takes the zone mechanic from the single-player game and brings it over into the multiplayer. Whereas you bring up your lines and you have your doubles and your triples and your Tetris-I, you shoot those lines over to your opponent and build up their playfield so that it makes it harder for them and they have to play on defense more. It's pretty cool, and it's very competitive, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I will tell you that there are some incredibly good players out there. I felt like I was sometimes playing against people who you see in the Tetris World Championship. You know, it's an experience, I'll say that. It does require you to practice, which is also good. And as you get better, then you'll find that the online challengers become a lot more fun to play against. Now, you also can play a classic score mode, And that game mode is more along the lines of what you're used to with the older versions of Tetris, where when a Tetramino hits the ground, it locks, you can't turn it again, and you have complete random Tetramino generation. But the brand new multiplayer game mode that the game is actually named after is the Connected mode. Now, in Connected mode, you're actually playing co-op. You and 2 other people, whether it be your friends or any strangers you meet on the internet, team up and you actually go against computer AI bosses. They get harder as the game goes on. They're supposed to represent the signs of the zodiac. Now, as you're playing, it's not just building up your score. All right, the computer AI, as it builds up its lines, sends attacks over to you to try to disrupt your playfield. Now, that could be bringing up blocks that raise your playfield up. It could be a laser that shoots through your blocks, disrupting that line that you were about to make. But you have a weapon that no one's ever seen before, and one that is unique to this game, and that is called the Connected mode. So when you and your friends build up the connected gauge beneath your playfield, you guys come together and merge your playfields into one giant playfield. I know, I just said playfield like 4 times. That's the most I've ever said it in a video. Anyway, when you do this, you can then take your Tetraminos and you can put them anywhere on this new and expanded battlefield. You could fix your or one of your friends' playfields and help them out. But at the same time, you're building up the singles, the doubles, the triples, and the Tetrasci together in order to attack the computer AI. And once the matrix is done, and once your playfields re-establish themselves apart, or disconnect, I guess you could say it that way, then whatever you have built up underneath of you is an attack on the computer. And we're going to see that in just a second. This is a very fun game mode and something that I can play for hours. By the way, as the computer is attacking you, you can fill up all of your playfield and you can get knocked out of the game. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end for you. If you or one of your teammates ends up getting knocked out, the other 2 could revive that person. Now, it's hard to do, but it can be done. So don't just quit the game once you're out. Don't leave your Tetris battle mates stranded. Seriously, this is a fun mode, and something that I could play over and over and over again, both with friends and just with random people online. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is Tetris Effect Connected. My name is Mike Mullis, and this has been Stinger Spotlight. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and that way you can see new videos as they come up, as well as get notification for the NLG Show. The NLG Show is our Thursday night podcast with myself, Peter Hutink, and Chris Williams, where we talk about the world of gaming. Sometimes we'll talk about a game like this. Sometimes we'll just talk about games. We have lots of great guests and a great chat room that really interacts with us from a weekly basis. So again, thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you played Tetris Effect Connected? Are you getting Tetris Effect Connected? Don't forget, if you have a PS4, this is coming out to you in the summertime. So as I always say, play on, gamers.